And welcome to Coping with Donald. I'm Phil. Hopefully, my voice will hold out for this. For some reason, I have a frog in my throat. But I think we'll be able to do this. Very, very important. Congress is going to start in May. In May, all of May, Congress is going to debate and form a spending bill for next year. And this is crucial to what happens in the future. A lot of you are probably saying, well, we know they tried to stop money from going here and there, and judges stopped them and protests stopped them. Well, there's a difference between that money and next year's money. That money was appropriated already. That had been settled. And so when Donald Trump tried to change things midstream, and the Republicans tried to change things midstream, no, we're not going to spend money on cancer. No, we're not going to spend money on children's cancer, my God. That was already decided. So the judges in the courts were saying, you can't change this. You already set this. And you can't change what was decided on last year. But they can do anything they want this year. And remember, the Republicans have the votes to pass anything they want if they all go in unison. One thing about the Republicans is they don't like supposedly running budget deficits. They will do it if they give a tax cut to the rich or special funding for Elon or something like that. But they don't want to do anything for regular people. So they could cut out Medicare. Not Medicare, excuse me. They could cut out Medicaid entirely if they wanted to. They can stop Meals on Wheels. They can shut down the suicide hotline for veterans. The things that they wanted to do but were stopped by judges, they can do it now. This is something to think about. We'll see how those town halls where they all got yelled at, we'll see if they had an effect or not. Because this is it. This is also it. Coffee. This is also it for many of the promises that Donald Trump made. And when I say many of the promises that Donald Trump made, I mean, no tax on tips. No tax on Social Security. Doge is going to send you a check. All right? Now it's time for the rubber to meet the road. And I don't think you're going to get these things. As a matter of fact, Donald Trump's setting up a lot of distractions, if you noticed. For one thing, he came out with a nutty tweet at 2 a.m. Man. First of all, it talked about how, these recent polls, people don't hate me, they love me. These polls are fake. They shouldn't be published. The news is the news, and it should be published. Just because you want to say measles doesn't exist and things like that, that's not news. That's your obsession. But news should actually be printed. But he has been trying to distract people, making all these promises, and then hope no one notices when they're not in the bill. This is where they would be put into this bill. And I can almost guarantee you, these things will not be in the bill. Donald Trump, in that tweet, he talked about, we don't need the Internal Revenue Service anymore. We'll have tariffs. Except the amount that's projected to be made on tariffs is about maybe a quarter of what the country takes in income tax. So obviously the tariffs can't replace the income tax. He can't get rid of the income tax, and he knows it. He knows it. But never let the truth stand in the way of a good lie. Yeah, the tariffs will be more than the income taxes. That's what he says. He also says eggs are down 87%. Where he got that number, I don't know. But if you had $6 eggs before, they would basically be $1 now. I don't think anybody has $1 eggs right now. I mean, except for maybe an egg or two eggs. So, you cannot believe anything, sadly, that he says. As a matter of fact, that's one way to cope with Donald. Because even if he's telling the truth, just don't believe it. I mean, I've had too much exposure to this man. If he told me his birth date, and it was actually the correct birth date, and I had the evidence in front of me, I said, no, that's not your birthday. I just get away from me, man. You just lie too much. We've got China saying there are no talks going on about tariffs. None. There's no talks going on. Trump keeps coming out and says, oh yeah, great tariff talks with Xi and all these officials, and we're really talking a lot. And my first inclination, only inclination, is to say, well, I believe China. Why would China lie about that? I think Donald Trump has lied to me many more times than Chinese governments have. I wonder if you feel that same way too. If you do, make a comment below and like the video and subscribe. I'm trying to get to 15 subscribers. Oh, I might be at 15. I'm trying to get to 20 subscribers. All right. Okay. You know, last night he was also talking about Canada again and about their elections. Vote for the person who will make Canada the 51st state. It'll be so much better. You'll see. You won't have any health insurance, but you'll see. You won't have any health insurance. Don't bring that up. Another thing he doesn't want to bring up, this is how much of a coward Donald Trump is that today there was a story, and Amazon was, I don't know, the stock was down 2-3% this morning, just because of this story. And then it regained during the week, because Amazon said, we decided not to do it. But what Amazon was going to do was put on their site the amount of the tariff of a product. The product is $30. The tariff is $6, so the price is $36. And they're doing that because they don't want people calling up and yelling at them about the item going up in price 20% or something. Well, when Donald Trump got wind of it, I think that wonderful woman with the cross who comes out and talks to the people all the time, you know, what's her name? Caroline Levitt, okay? I think she came out and said that it was very unpatriotic for Amazon to do that. What? So, Trump called Jeff Bezos and read him the Riot Act, I guess, about this Amazon policy. Even though I don't think Jeff Bezos, I mean, maybe he's on the board, but he doesn't really have anything to do with the company anymore. He just owns a lot of stock. He doesn't work anymore, I don't think. But he's definitely not like the CEO or anything. And he said, you know, don't do this. And Bezos got Amazon to come out and said, oh yeah, we were thinking about that, but we hadn't done it yet, and I guess we won't do it. Because Donald Trump doesn't want to get the blame. He wants other people to get the blame for the cost of the product going up. Just add it to your price and then forget about it. Now, usually when I buy things, I don't really know what the price is. I don't every day. I mean, I'm still on the same refrigerator that I had for 15 years. I don't price refrigerators. So, if I went out to buy a refrigerator, I could go shopping, but I wouldn't know how much was the tariff on the refrigerator, which could be several $100s, actually. And Um, because of that, okay, because of that, I wouldn't say anything. I don't do a lot of consuming. You know, obviously food, any. I was gonna say cosmetics. I was gonna sound like JD Vance. Yeah, my eyeliner. Um, yeah, deodorant and mouthwash and things like that. But I did notice a tariff already, and it's on something I buy a lot of. So the things that I do buy a lot of, I would notice the tariff, and here it is. No, not my save the drama for your llama cup. It is the coffee. Thank you. And the coffee, most of them at the public supermarket near where I live, most of that coffee costs for the 12 pods, the name brands, which used to be like $7.99, and with our inflation, they've gone up to $9.99. Some were $10.59. Some were $9.49. Now they're all over $12. And it wasn't just that one of them was over $12. They were all over $12. Okay? And that's from last week to this week, because I buy coffee almost every week. Now, at Publix, they usually have a buy one, get one and stuff. So it isn't as bad as that. But you're still paying a higher price for the two boxes that are buy one, get one. You're paying the $12.49 instead of $10.49. And it's not going to kill me. But that's the first tariff that I came across. I'm like, oh boy, tariffs. Yeah. Let me see if I covered everything. Well, I covered a lot of things. One man mentioned something, and I can't remember it. So let's pass that. And can you believe Trump called Bezos? Because he's like, I'm getting enough criticism. I don't want criticism, even though I did the tariffs. I did the tariffs. I did the tariffs. He turns his body that funny kind of way. How come J.D. Vance was the last person to see the Pope but didn't even go to his funeral? That just popped into my head, unfortunately. They're talking now about Biden had some bans on products that were technology, certain semiconductors and things like that. He didn't want people to ship outside the U.S., and it was pretty much a blanket thing. Well, now Trump apparently is going to make individual deals with individual countries, to allow them to access our technology, which is a complete change. Now, this isn't written in stone. This was reported by Reuters. And I was just wondering, I don't think Trump's a very good judge of who's our enemy and who's our friend. Okay? Now, I'm sure China won't get these things, but if we trade with France or somebody like that, who's to say France isn't going to ship these things to China? But anyway, just a thought. And finally, if you think that it's great policy to put kids under 3 and 4 years old in handcuffs when they send them back to another country, they handcuff them because they have to handcuff everybody. If you're okay with that, you are a sadistic person, and there's really no defense. So, since I can't remember what that other guy said, This has been... I know the name. I'm just looking over here. No, I didn't have it written there. This has been Coping with Donald, and I'm Phil. Have a very good night, and thanks for watching. I thought there was like some information you needed to know on this one. Not really about J.D. Vance, but you know. I'll see you soon.